All the roll and go, where am I to go? Meet Johnny, where am I to go? For I'm a young and a sailor lad, and where am I to go?
Hello, and welcome to Where Am I to Go podcast. Today we're at a museum that has really intrigued me ever since a good friend of mine told me that it existed. And it is the Orphan Train Museum in Concordia, Kansas. And today, Susan is going to be our host, and she's going to explain some things with the Orphan Train. The Orphan Train is a piece of history I didn't even know much about until probably 2-3 years ago. And I think it's probably a pretty important part of history. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, Susan, to Where Am I to Go podcast.
Well, thank you very much. Nice to be included. This is a piece of history, as you mentioned, that doesn't often get into the history books. Children grow up without knowing that their immediate family or descendants thereof of orphan train riders. And so I am retired, a college instructor, and this is what I'm doing now in my retirement, is supporting the Orphan Train Museum and History. And I was a teacher at the college here locally, Cloud County Community College, and I taught public speaking. So this is not too much of a stretch for me to meet visitors and talk with them and help answer the many questions they often have.
Well, I think we're going to have many questions today.
Okay, that sounds great.
I mean, as far as I always knew, Little Orphan Annie was the whole deal with orphans and stuff.
Absolutely.
And
Big Daddy Warbucks.
Right.
And so Big Daddy Warbucks was an angel, and the orphanages were always looking for more angels.
So just out of curiosity, they got these orphans from big cities where were all of them orphans?
Yeah, let me start with my explanation of what the orphan train was. It was a story about stories. So you can't stereotype these children with one stamp.
Right.
So the orphanages were the main ones. The Children's Aid Society, which was public. And then there was the New York Foundling Home, Catholic. And so the breakdown ended that don't know anything about this child, Children's Aid Society. Oh, okay, the priest is bringing an opportunity for the sisters, Foundling. And so basically every story has its puzzle pieces to put together. If you came in and you didn't know what, you may end up a Catholic. If you came in like you see those boys in the subway grating,
right?
Big question mark. Okay, Children's Aid Society. And now that we're big time into finding out your roots and using DNA, and so many people now know more about their heritage. So occasionally we get people searching, thinking like in the old days you went to Salt Lake City,
right,
and got into the records, and now this has made it a process or unraveling a mystery that you can do on your computer.
Okay.
So they have names of all the orphans that were on the trains?
We're in the process.
Okay.
We found that they're undercounted how many.
Oh, I bet.
Because there was one or maybe two agents who traveled with these children on the train, and they did the best they could, getting names and where were you picked up, where did you go, all these things, and we're still solving the mysteries.
And if you're going off of what the kids say,
Right,
then they only say what they know.
that's right. Or
Right.
they think that the agent, that was her mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or she was a lady with a big hat.
Right.
But
And then the older ones would probably say stuff about what the little ones were doing and all
it's
that
exactly
kind of thing.
right.
Yeah.
The foundling home was often referred to as a baby train. So their children may have been left on the steps of an orphanage. They knew nothing. Or there'd be a note pinned, I can no longer take care of my girl. Take good care of her.
Wow. That's just hard to even imagine
It
a mom
is.
doing
It
that.
is.
I think it happened a lot.
Yes. Or they had their own informal way of passing a child to another family that within the church, or we knew someone who lost a child and they're in deep mourning about it. Well, we know a child that was born to an unwed mother, and things in communities worked it out.
It seems like it'd be really hard to figure out the names and stuff, because I'm sure that when they got off the train and they got adopted by a family,
They wanted their
they
name.
wanted their name, and so you didn't have access to what their original name was.
Exactly.
And the children would forget.
Right. They did at the orphanage put some identifier, a label on their clothing that hopefully stayed with them to that placement. But yeah, that we get people in here, well, we thought we were from LaGrange, Illinois, and they took us to Iowa. It starts with an I.
Right.
I mean, it's just fascinating.
Right, right.
I'm sure you can go down all kinds of rabbit holes with that.
Exactly.
That's
And
amazing.
There are some who kept alive the dream that I will one day meet my mother. And they went with that dream in mind to New York and was rejected there too.
Oh, no.
It was too late in life to reframe the story.
Right.
Right. That makes sense to me. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and how many of these orphans that were put on the train were picked up at the station and then hauled to the mines or hauled to the fields or that type of
That's
stuff?
why I say it's a story about stories. But because they were in the institution of the church or the public orphanage, they did have a process that they went through with their agent. And just like in teaching, they took in kids. I've actually been to the Children's Aid Society, right where it was pictured here. And the phones are ringing constantly. People are coming in. They're dragging kids.
Oh my God.
It's chaos.
Huh.
But they have all of the records, written records that the agents kept. And those have now been moved to the New York Historic Museum. And they are letting the public access those records if you call in advance.
Make an appointment, yeah.
But you saw a depiction here of those that they relied on with money. Teddy Roosevelt
Right.
Sr., the big wigs of the Carnegies,
Right.
the Astors, and such. So I think we'll get an idea that there was a process that kept them together. With the orphanage, they were responsible for getting the kids together, making them look presentable. They would go to wherever they got on the train. Then they'd go maybe into Chicago. Then they'd go to another line. And there's just so much we don't know about all of those. And the wealthy, they wanted to be anonymous, a lot of them. But then the advanced people for the orphanage would send a press release, or how they did that then, children coming. children needing good homes. And that word would go out, the newspaper would run it, there'd be some things, notices tacked up on the poles, the electric poles.
Right.
And it's going to take place at X time, be at the depot or be at the courthouse, on the courthouse step, and such, to get the word out. And we have some large black and white photographs over at the depot showing just how curious these people of the town were to see these children from New York City. And then the photograph of the train car, the kids looking out the window. What are these people from Kansas? What do they look like?
Right.
Well, it had to be really confusing to, or I don't know if confusing is the word I want to use, but scary, I guess, when you're getting loaded up on a train car and sent off to who knows where, and you're going to have to go live with a family that you don't know.
Right.
It had to have been a
Most of them
really
knew they
traumatic
didn't
experience.
like where they were at that time. And so after you leave the environs of New York City, and then here's the wide open spaces
Oh, yeah.
of the Midwest, and always, what is that? That's a cow.
Oh, yeah, wow. So when they got to their destination, did the people that got the kids, did they buy them?
No.
Or were they given to them?
No,
Did they sign up for them, or?
There was a local committee
Uh-huh.
who knew the people of the town, who were the best prospects for
Okay.
to become a second home for these
Okay.
children. And
So they had to have means.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's why you want a banker or two on your committee, or maybe someone who is in local government, maybe the deputy from the police department. And I mean, we think of this as the early baby steps of the foster care system.
right.
Okay.
So, yeah, there were few women on the committee. There's probably another book that needs to be written on that.
Yeah, probably. Right.
But then if you had the children, you want to put them on public display at the Opera House or the front steps of the courthouse, and then give people a chance to go up and look at them. And you wanted to observe their personality, shake hands, and then the agent may. Now, Billy, can you tell them about the little song you sang?
Mm-hmm. I could see it.
Yeah, and so they would be able to express themselves.
Kind of like going to the market and picking out an apple.
Right, yeah,
Which one's the shiniest?
yeah, that would be a good metaphor. And then they would go to the home. The agent would take them to the home and see how it looked. I mean, it's got to be pretty nice to,
Right.
if you were on the street or
Right?
living in a dorm-like situation.
Right.
And then the agent would go back to the hotel, and the next day he or she would revisit, and must have been pretty good at picking up vibes of the relationship so far.
Right.
And then he or she would return to, like, let's say Concordia, and go and see the child in that environment, and write letters. Miss Hill, she was the placement agent for the Midwest, and so she would write to them and develop a correspondence with the children, which in some cases went on for a lifetime.
Wow.
Really?
Miss Hill, I thought you'd like to know I am getting married, or, you know.
Right.
And so Miss Hill she was a needlecraft person. And on the day of the wedding would arrive a pair of embroidered pillowcases.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, you can see how she was a substitute parent
Right.
for the time that they knew one another.
So there's a lot of homework to get one of these children.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They just didn't drop them off and people just grabbed them.
That is a myth. The children who came by way of the foundling home, they were met by sisters or the priest, and they had the tag sewn to their clothing.
Okay.
We've got some examples of that over in the museum.
Oh, good.
But a way to verify this at and this is all snail mail.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've even seen pictures of kids being hauled in a mail bag.
Oh, well, this was one step up from that. But that when they got to the site, then they would call for the name of the parent. And many times the foundling also sent out like a treasure map. You have this half, you come with this. And that's the way to verification was.
Okay.
Cool.
And
really
so
interesting.
they give the child his or her half and be sure to keep that. I'm sure that there's some things that happened along the way, but
Kind of like a luggage tag.
yes, yeah. We have an example of a little girl who had a hat, like a 20s era hat, with the tag in the back,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
or in a shirt collar.
Huh.
Okay.
You
Well,
know?
cool. Well, let's go take a look at some of the things you've got here in the museum.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going on to the train car.
All right, very good.
All aboard.
All aboard.
Okay, so we're headed out to the train car,
Right.
and
which
this is
in
this,
building, right?
and it's a train car that you guys got donated and then rebuilt, right?
Well, a lot of it is just pretty much in its original state. So I got a hold of the mayor, city manager, asking about the train car. What are you going to do with it? Well, at the end of this month, it's going to be demolished. So I got on the phone to a friend of mine's brother who has big trucks
Okay.
and got some donations. Would you give money to have this transported to Concordia? And so I'm just going to make this long story short. This was kind of on the edge of a river that went past Marion. In fact, here
Okay.
is the train car, and there's a flood, and so it had already been moved to several places. But here it is, and we got it moved here to Concordia and set down here on the north side of the property. We didn't know what we were going to do with it, but we knew it had to be part of this history.
Right.
And we look at it, and that you're going to be riding on this train for about 2.5 days.
Those seats look really comfortable for riding on for 2.5 days. They're just wooden. They're just
They're
wooden seat.
Yes,
that,
it's not like a coach.
There's not any padding or anything else.
No.
It's pretty basic.
It is. And the materials are original.
Wow.
This was probably built right after the Civil War.
Okay.
So we didn't want to disturb any of the originality of it, and yet making it a visual aid for people
Right.
to see what that must have been like.
Well, the restoration looks really, really nice as far as the woodwork and these old train cars are just really intriguing anyway, with all the little compartments and
Yes,
the windows that open and close and
yes, that was your air conditioning.
right. Yeah.
And the train itself, as it went down the track, kicked up all of the ash and that was coming from the locomotive.
Yeah, that coal dust would have been
Yeah.
just infiltrating everything, especially on cold days.
And there was a little wood stove in the corner.
Okay.
So I'm sure the agent was mindful of the safety of having that. An ash could come in the top vent
Right.
and start a fire.
Wow. This is really cool. And it looks very nice. You were saying that you still had a lot of work to do on it, but...
Well, actually, it's done.
Oh,
We
okay.
just decided.
I was going to say, it looks like it's...
This is it.
Suitcases and
Yes.
packages that are in there are really, really cute.
Well, and Miss Hill, or whomever was the agent, would probably put the maybe older kids. Okay, now you're going to be in charge of bread, you, peanut butter, milk, yes,
And I bet they were.
and they were. And this is where the foundling home, they had infants, would put maybe an older girl or two in charge of whatever that child needed.
Huh. Yeah, I'm sure that because they had lived that type of life, that they were more than happy to help the younger ones.
Give them some authority.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And yeah.
You know, I started teaching in the public school system, and this is no different than taking a busload of kids to the Topeka Capitol. You know, for everyone who got off, get back on and just keep track of them, and that's the same practice.
Well, this is cool.
Taken from history, so newspaper articles,
Okay.
but a museum doesn't have room to have a display case or things that people walk around, and so we were very influenced by Ellis Island when
Okay.
we visited, because they have the same situation. They have two-dimensional photographs of a boat arriving, or people wearing different ethnic outfits, and so we thought that works for us because we want to move people around and they can look at the faces that are telling the story.
Right. And you've got several of these. They're what, probably 4 foot by 4 foot plaques on the wall that describe a lot of different things with what
Yes.
happened with people.
Absolutely.
So interesting.
And I need to put a plug in for our hometown artistry, that these were all produced here in town by a sign company.
Okay.
They did a great job.
They're just giant Xerox copies.
Okay.
And several of them we had to get permission to deal with them. And if it's just a copyright type thing, or just, yeah, you can do it, or
Well, we also noticed the other day when we were driving around town, you got all these statues, these little statues. They're not real tall, but they all look like they're bronze.
yes.
And they have
are.
a little story by them. And I was told that you have like 50 of them scattered
Yes.
throughout town.
Right, and
So
even
cute.
a couple out within the county.
Okay.
We can just say we're open 24 hours a day.
There you go.
You know, if you want to do a walking tour, you want to get up close. So they all have been either fostered or adopted by locals to
Okay.
pay for them. And if they had a family member who you want to remember, then in their honor.
Okay.
But the people are real that are described.
That are described,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Just
Yeah, it was just kind of fun. It's kind of like a search and seek, you know. You're
Yeah.
driving down the road and I guess it's called distractive driving. Anyway, as you're driving down the road, you're constantly looking, trying to find where another one is.
Vermicelli.
And we've
There you
just
go.
recently met a few people who were on the orphan train.
No,
Just
had
parents
or something that
like
were on
that.
the orphan train.
Yeah.
Right, because really, if it's an original, they're no longer living.
Right.
The last orphan train ran to a town in Texas in 1929. And some of the governors of states said, no, we don't need any more people in our state that we're going to take care of.
1929.
Stock market
Wow.
crash.
Yeah. I was thinking this was more of a turn of the century thing, and
Well, it probably began as a problem at the turn of the century. But once the Civil War ended,
right,
then all these circumstances fell to the state, maybe. And of course, Horace Greeley was saying, go west, young man, and expand the West. We need to bring the rail service. We bring power.
And they did.
Yeah. And we also had here a CCC camp.
okay,
And then we also have a prisoner of war camp, German prisoner of war camp. So they took those properties that had been CCC camps and moved the buildings to out north of town, where they turned it into military
right.
use.
Yeah, we've done several podcasts where we've talked to people that had museums or whatever of the World War II. It seems like mostly it was Italian and German.
Yeah,
And-
both here.
Right. And then the CCC camps were pretty popular.
Right, and why not? Because these people already had skills,
Right.
and if there were farmers who, while the boys were overseas, who's going to bring in the crops and,
Right.
and that, so
And from what I've read, the prisoners of war were treated pretty doggone good, and they were not real anxious to go back.
best year of their lives. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
Yes.
Best year of my life was when I was in a concentration camp or a prisoner of war camp.
It's a great line, but it's true.
Aren't they lovely looking children?
Now this guy here, Art Smith, I knew him.
Really?
Yes. He has a great story. He was on the street in New York and was at Macy's department store, and a customer said, "What's your name?" "I don't know." "Well, where did you come from?" "Out there." And so Art grew up to be a wonderful engineer, and he was very bright, very articulate, but he came from Macy's.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he rode on the train and then decided that he wanted to be an engineer because riding on the train is so much fun.
Well, eventually he met the right person who showed him the orphanage.
Okay.
And so he was there for a while, and then he went on one of the cars out to the west.
Wow. Huh.
I'm just so happy that I actually knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says that he died in 2005, so.
Yeah, that's when we were getting going here.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll just go around and then we'll head into the Depot Museum. Here's somebody else that we knew. This is a World War I think, ex-military. And his wife, there's someone for everyone.
Right.
And his daughter, this is a picture of him looking into the sun.
Okay.
He ended up out in Colorado, I believe.
And when she says there's someone for everyone, his wife is probably 8 inches to 10 inches taller than what he is.
That's right, but it didn't bother him any.
That's right.
He loved to dance, so.
Huh.
Yeah, that would be
But
perfect.
his daughter is a benefactor of ours.
Okay.
And the daughter looks like the mom.
Oh.
So
Okay.
she's real tall too.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say doing that underarm thing's kind of hard when she's that much taller than you.
And dancing.
Yeah, and the dancing. This is just really, really nice.
Well, we've seen a lot of museums that were not done well.
So have we. But we've seen some that are just done absolutely fantastic too.
You see that used in advertising a little bit, where you can look one way but block the other.
Right.
And so the bottom line is to keep the sun's rays off of your exhibits.
Look at this one here.
And she doesn't look very happy.
No, No.
I'm assuming
not-
that's a she.
She's not following protocol. Smile, children.
And we'll see this in some other photographs also, that those outfits are hand-me-downs from St. Vincent de Paul or wherever.
Right.
Maybe they used to be somebody's military outfit. And maybe if we just sew a button here or do something to give it a distinction, so everyone looks different.
Yes.
And then here's the legend, the before and after.
Of the train car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a project.
it was, but it was volunteer work.
That would be
You
fun.
find someone who likes to work with their hands. So there are a lot of people here locally have had their hands all over this stuff.
Well, that's cool. It's really nice when you have community support.
And everybody's
Right.
interested in the project, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to cross over to the depot.
Concordia's got some really interesting buildings.
It does.
We were really impressed when we were driving around and just looking at things.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a lot going on here.
A lot.
See that guy on the screen?
Right.
That is the man I was telling you.
Art?
Mr. Macy's department
Oh,
store.
Mr. Okay.
Yeah, that's him all grown up.
Okay. Yeah, it looks just like him. It really does.
Now, if you were coming in and you wanted to buy a ticket, you came here and bought your ticket, or if you had something to ship.
Uh-huh.
And then this room here, we gave to women.
Okay.
It's the ladies' waiting room.
Check out this old water fountain.
It's original.
Wow. That's really cool. The water spout comes right up out of the middle. It's brass, and it kind of hangs on the wall.
Yes.
And it's white ceramic.
So the ladies' waiting room we've devoted to the New York foundling. So we've seen in the video the cradle or that a child that's been given up, there was a place for it. Make sure that it was warm, and then there would be a bell if the mom did not want to be. She wanted to do this anonymously.
Right.
So she left the baby, rang a bell, and then a sister would come out and take it from there.
And it says, the foundlings come in rags, a newspaper often the only wrap. Semi-occasionally, one in a clean slip with some evidence of loving care. A little slip of paper pinned on, perhaps with some message as this, in a woman's trembling hand. Take care of Johnny, for God's sake, I can't. But even that is the rarest of all happenings. It's just so hard to imagine a mom.
Jacob Reese was one of the first to use flash photography.
Okay.
And some of the pictures that we see of like kids on subway gratings were taken by Jacob Reese. His theory was that those photographs are going to be worth their weight in gold, because I could write a newspaper article and who's going to read it?
Right.
But you can't unsee something.
Exactly.
And here,
Is this one of his photographs here?
I don't think so, but we will see some. I love this as they're getting their education here. And if you're a teacher, student-teacher ratio.
Right.
You've got enough teachers to go around, or authority figures.
Well, we're looking at a picture that has probably 15 teachers and close to 100 kids. So, and they're all, I would say there's not a kid in there that's over 7 years old. Just looking at the picture. Mm-hmm. And this was at the Catholic group?
The foundling home.
Okay. I like the way that you've done your windows. You've got the window drapes with the
Another
pictures.
picture.
And so the light comes through and shows up the pictures really, really
I think it's
nicely.
amazing. Good idea.
And
Well, our very first curator was concerned about the UV rays
Right.
coming in the window. And so she came up with this idea, what about a big Xerox copy?
It works. It
Yeah.
works really, really well.
Good idea.
Because there's a lot of windows in this building.
There are, but we need the light. One night I was down here, the electricity hadn't been turned on yet, and the light from outside on the electric pole was making them seem like they were floating ghosts.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
That would have been cool.
There's some letters right there.
The Orphan Train Heritage Society. We are proud to honor Ann Harrison as a documented orphan train rider. So were the kids given these certificates when they got on the trains, or is that just
No,
one that's...
I don't think so. But she received that when we began our organization here. Eventually, we decided that there's only going to be one orphan train authentic heritage society. So we became the one in the United States, and Orphan Train Heritage Society became us.
Okay.
So
Now
that
what-
started in Springdale, Arkansas.
Okay.
The lady in the film that talks about how she had it became more than she could deal with.
Right.
But she was looking for another site to take her artifacts and such. And we already knew what we wanted here. This depot belonged to a friend of mine who was a teacher at my college, and her parents were in the furniture business.
Okay.
So they have owned this building for mattress storage. So she was then going to deed this depot to us when we got going. And so the lady from Springdale, Mary Ellen Johnson, I said to our committee, I don't think we can go any further with this without letting her know what we're thinking.
Right.
So I told her that we had orphan train riders in our community, and she heard my pitch. I didn't even think of her relinquishing her holdings, but finally she said, well, you wouldn't want any of my stuff, would you? That was a direct quote.
Wow.
She said, well, there's a couple other places, one in Nebraska, the other one in Iowa, who have shown interest. So one day this lady drove in here, and it was her. It was Mary Ellen Johnson. She came with her husband to check this place out. And luckily, Highway 81 was going through a transition. It was becoming a 4-lane highway.
Okay.
And I think that and the depot free and our already our interest in orphan train heritage, we got it. It took a board decision on their part.
What a fantastic deal, though.
It absolutely was. At the time, a local politician was head of the Senate,
Okay.
the Kansas Senate. And he thought this was a good idea. So he ran a lot across people who are just negative, no, we don't need that. But he was another one of our advocates, and he knew some farmers that had a semi, and he rode along in the semi down to Springdale, and a bunch of us went along too. So we could load up 2 semis, load of stuff.
Wow.
And brought it here.
Wow.
But our timeline had to be specific because the person with the semi had to get through wheat harvest. That meant it was hot. So we had some extra hands, and brought everything back here to Concordia and put it in a warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
While we were, there was no long-range plan on this. We wanted it, we wanted to get going with it, and so here it is all these years later.
Wow.
That's very nice.
And it's very nice display, very nice museum.
Yeah, Opelousas.
Uh-huh.
I went down there for their opening.
And it's the same.
It's a depot.
And it's the same people, right, that run it? The same.
It is. It's a local lady, and she's affiliated with the Foundling Home.
Yeah. Okay.
So we are with the Children's Aid Society, but it's basically the same process.
Uh-huh.
The local Catholic Church did their own finding or know someone, and they became a Catholic.
Oh, wow.
And see this lady right here, this girl, Ann Harrison.
Uh-huh.
She went to Colorado Springs, and when she grew up, she just lived the life of a Catholic.
Uh-huh.
Well, then she went to New York and just had a feeling she had come from there.
Oh.
And of course she had.
Uh-huh.
And so she went to a cathedral, and a nun, yes, may I help you? Well, I think I was here. Just like you're mystic.
Right.
Yeah, I think I was here. Oh, okay. So the nun disappeared. She had one of the big hats.
Uh-huh.
And she came back. She said, yes, you were here. In her stern way.
Right.
But that's all I can tell you. Well, this lady was not to be set aside. So she made the rounds of the records office, births, and vital statistics. And she found that her parents, their names, Mo Cohen, and not the mom's name. Well, two and two together, she's Jewish.
Uh-huh.
And when she met her friends, she said, I just can't believe I'm Jewish. And they said, we knew it. You are Jewish.
Uh-huh.
You have features.
Right.
And when I was talking to her, all grown up lady, she's pictured here. The one on the right,
Okay.
Ann Harrison, and her fellow orphan train rider, Leela Newcomb.
Aw.
She was useful to us in another way. Ann was taking Leela under her wing because she had had an abusive experience. And so Ann said, Leela, you need to write your story.
Mm-hmm.
You need to write your story, and as you're going through it, you will absolve some of your feelings. She became a speaker for our debut of the museum.
Wow.
And they're both deceased now.
Right.
But they were featured on CBS Sunday morning, revisiting their home that they were. And the not so good story. No, Leela, the not so good story. And the parents of wealth.
Uh-huh.
So living legends when we knew them. And
Right. How cool is that?
we just not too long ago hired a new curator, and they're coming into this maybe with museum background, but it's good that we have some of the authentic creators of this museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm talking to you today.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what he said.
Yeah.
And we're very grateful. Thank you.
Boy, is that the orphanage?
That is the Foundling Hospital. The one in the video that talks about different floors had different hospitals, maybe infants, just young people and administrative.
That's just a huge building.
Well, you know what happened, and this is just me saying that,
Right.
that the wealth of New York City started with people who had wealth, and then for some reason they either died, this was their castle or whatever,
Right.
and let's get a tax exempt legal document here
Right.
where we are giving our home to the New York Foundling Hospital.
Okay.
And this is still there, this building.
Is it in decent shape or is it run? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it still operating as an orphanage?
I can't tell you. I think there is a foundling home facility,
Okay.
but one building isn't enough. This is like keeping things under control. Like by now we need a farm.
Right.
We need some place where kids can grow up in the outdoors, and we need schools. And then this is where they started.
That doesn't look like a really big building.
No, this is down in the 5 Points area of New York, crime-ridden at certain points, but 12th Street, that's all still there.
Wow. Pretty amazing. A lot of history there.
Uh-huh. This little dress belonged to one of the orphan train riders, because
She had to have been, what, about 3 years old?
maybe, but it probably has a story to tell.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Because the schools, I mean, I think they still have home ec in.
I don't know if they do,
They did when I was there.
Yeah, me
but that was a
too.
long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but the handiwork could have been learned in a school.
Right.
Probably no electric machines.
Let's go down this way. They've got a video going, but we're not
Yeah.
going to watch the video. Right
There are a
now.
lot of opportunities to see these interviews with, they probably are no longer living.
Right. And more stories.
More stories. This is Anna Laura Hill right here. And obviously this is the foundling home because of the baby.
Uh-huh.
And then the military
Type suits.
Yeah.
Huh. This is just such an interesting piece of history.
We know where this film or this shot was taken. Blue Rapids, Kansas. They've got a grain elevator out back, which is very similar to the one we have.
Right.
But it's a good microcosm of the word is out. These New York children are going to come here. Let's go and check them out, see what they look like. And then the wealthy person here, despite its snow, going to hitch up the horses and head down and look. And right here is Anna Laura Hill, the lady with the big hat.
Okay.
And she has a traveling companion here.
That's an interesting picture because you got kids all over on the outside of the train, and then you've got all adults standing out there looking at the curiosity, I guess.
Oh, it's a great capture.
Yeah, it is. That's really interesting. And those train cars couldn't have been overly warm when it was overly cold.
Now, there are some little vents at the top of the car.
Right. It's just so strange that they ended up with so many out of New York.
And then
Chicago, did Chicago have the...
Philadelphia, all up and down the eastern seaboard, that they would gravitate toward the larger churches.
Right.
And then the church would send them to a larger facility where they could take them. And if they couldn't be put on a train, that they would be taught. And, you know, it's just amazing how one hand washed the other.
There's just such an interesting piece. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got a picture of a ship here with looks like 1,000 people on it.
You know, this is such a great photo. I'm not sure that Jacob Riis took this, but it's wonderful to look at. That I need to get over here closer. This ship is arriving from across the Atlantic.
Right.
And here in the background is Ellis Island.
Okay.
But what are the people looking at?
They're not looking at Ellis Island.
No, they're not. They're looking at the Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
You know, this is what it's been worth. All of this 2 weeks floating on our way.
It doesn't look like they've got enough lifeboats.
I don't think so.
There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, that was probably the least of their concern.
Right.
See it? There it is.
Okay, so now these orphans, when they were sent out, did they carry much luggage with them, or?
That is kind of what's represented here. Again, these are hand-me-downs to a thrift shop of the day.
Right.
And that they were given a Bible and a change of clothes, and to keep this with you because somebody might walk off with it.
Wow. Over here we have a picture at dinner time. Looks like there's a lot of happy kids, but it looks like all they get is a bowl of soup.
They're eating their oatmeal.
Is that what it is?
And you notice these supervisors in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an amazing picture there too. There's probably 200 kids. All of them have big smiles.
Yes.
And they've got their spoons in their little ceramic bowls. And they all seem to have smiles on their faces. So it must have been really good oatmeal.
3 meals a day. Now we're kind of going around. We were mentioning about home ec. That there were classes that the children could take. And here they are learning the baking arts.
Okay.
They scratch something here, pie crust or bread.
That's the way they always used to make it, was from scratch. Betty Crocker hadn't come out with her pre-made yet.
Time-saving boxes.
Right.
And these boys, don't look to me like they're comfortable with those tools.
I don't know. They're making shoes, so they're cobblers.
So they'll have a skill.
Yeah.
When they get out on their own. I look at their hands, where a few strikes of the hammer.
They hit the wrong nail.
And then notice there's probably blood on the apron.
Well, and those little nails are pretty doggone sharp too in order to get through that.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's cool that they taught them trades, so that when they got out, they could be kind of self-sufficient.
Charles Loring Brace chose not to go into the ministry, but thought he was ministering.
Right. Well, it's a good thing somebody picked it up, you know, and tried to fill in that gap. Then you've got a lantern and some other train memorabilia here.
And then you were asking about other orphanages. There were other groups who tried to care for children, and they tried to keep organized. Who is bringing this child? What circumstances? And these annuals were the research that several folks have come to see the firsthand stories.
Right. All written in a really nice cursive penmanship, yes.
And that's a Jacob Riis photograph.
This one here, and this one's got 3 kids in a, what do I want to call that? It's kind of a recess in the
subway.
The subway heat was coming out, and they're kind of sheltered up down there trying to stay warm. Kind of a homeless situation like what we've got now, all except different.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's this right here?
This was a
Scale.
Scale, and it had a apparatus up here where you.
See, when she's walking on it, it's moving.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. Very cool.
It's going to be okay though. It's not going to fall in.
No, it's not going to.
But it's part of the authenticity of the building.
Yeah, it's really neat.
And that tenement photo is Jacob Riis also.
And it shows a family, a dad and a mom and 5 kids. Now, were these kids orphans or were
I
they?
think that's a family.
That's a family picture.
Right, and that's it. This is the room. Maybe there was something behind where the dad is.
Right.
I don't think they were big on putting things away.
Well, they had, everything was a lot smaller back then. You know, everybody
Yeah.
wants to have the 3,000 square foot home now,
Oh,
and none of us need it.
no,
And
we need to get rid of half of it.
right, but this little one room with 8 people in it's kind of got to be rough too.
Oh, and you're seeing or hearing a train go by, so these are still live tracks.
Wow. Yeah, you've got some really cool pictures here. Hanging out on this infamous slum street. These boys in their shabby
Oh,
clothes
there
attract
again.
little attention by those passing by. To their parents, though, their outfits are such a social stigma, they are kept home from school rather than subject them to ridicule in the classroom. This is on one of these things, life on the streets of New York meant day-to-day survival because danger for children lurked in every shadow. Many joined gangs for protection. For some, striking the first blow became a basic trick of survival. By mid-19th century, abandoned, orphaned, starving, neglected street children numbered 10,000 in New York alone. That's just unbelievable.
This is the back side of a tenement here, like trash removal, just pitch it out. One of my former students had seen this photograph and got to digging what is going on here. These
Graffitis?
chalk deaths, bodies were found here marking
Oh, really?
the bodies have been taken away.
Wow.
But the people are kind of staying out of view of the police, or you start seeing them here.
Yeah, the more you look, the more people you see.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you can still see the blood spatters.
Oh, wow, this one here is crowded. 5 cents a spot. In a room not 13 feet either way slept 12 men and women, 2 or 3 in bunks set in a sort of alcove, the rest on the floor. A kerosene lamp burned dimly in the fearful atmosphere, probably to guide other and late arrivals to their beds, for it was only just past midnight in the 1890s. A 13 by 13 room with 12 men and women. That's not
Now that's about the size of my dorm room. when I was in
Right.
college, right?
sticking 12 people, 12 people in there. And then here's kind of a cool picture. It must have been prayer time before bed.
That's kind of the difference between how the public dealt with overcrowding and how the Catholic Church, going with the family values there.
Right. There are a lot of cool pictures here. And this here's just a crowded street picture in New York.
In the front side of tenements.
Right.
Kind of okay from the outside, but not like
Not once you got into the alley.
them. And I don't think there's anyone watching out for child welfare either.
It doesn't look like it.
With the balconies and everything.
Yeah. That's way cool.
Oh, the people. Well, it's packed.
Huh. Got lots of cool pictures.
This is
Lots
great.
of cool pictures. So you have anything else to show us?
Well, I don't think so.
Do you guys have a website?
Yes,
What is your website?
orphantraindepot.com.
Okay. Well, Susan, I really appreciate you taking your time today
Thank you.
and doing this podcast with us. I'm blown away by the story because it is an amazing story.
Somebody really had a good idea to help these kids and families and stuff. I hope it actually did help them. Looks like it did help a lot of them.
Yes, yeah, and the main thing was getting them away from New York City.
Oh,
Exactly.
geez, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that still holds true today. Who would want to live there?
Right.
Anyway, I always finish out my podcast by saying the world is full of wonder. People need to get out and explore. There is so much history, so much to see, so much to do. And everybody have an absolutely wonder-filled day.